Spread was 8.
It says live.
Love.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your man Noah, man. We back for another installment of this SNT Podcast. I got some good fellas with me. We got my dog C-Mac. We got my brother AC, my brother AD. We got Spicy Ralph down bottom, man. We back for another installment. Fellas, I know we took last week off, man. I know we all busy. Some congratulations are due. Of course, I want to make sure that my brother AD gets more flowers on completing that Masters again. We got more good news, man. The SNT family is growing. Shout out to the commish, delivering a beautiful baby boy today, named after yours truly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to nephew Noah. I love it, man. I love it. The S&T family gets bigger, man. Shout out to Commish. Shout out to Mrs. Commish, the Commish's wife, man, delivering a healthy baby boy today. Shout out to the whole S&T family, man. We're getting bigger. We're getting stronger. Man, this is S&T Podcast. We are the intersection of sports and culture. Make sure you tap in with us across all social media platforms at S&T Sports, at sitandtalksports.com. Check us out on Clubhouse, man, the Sit and Talk Room over there on Clubhouse with my man G. Shout out to Smooth. He's the best moderator on the app. Talk to Commish, man. Get your merch. I see the guys got their merch with them, man. We're doing big things over here. Make sure you stay tapped in. Big things coming along. But, fellas, man, we got a lot of stuff to tap into in a little bit of time, so we're going to get this ball rolling. Man, I got a text this morning from my brother AC. AC said, man, fire the podcast up tonight and get out the way. My man cleared it out. He said, let me get this one-on-one with this particular topic, and if you can see my man's background, you would know what type of time he's on. Fellas, we had, we are the intersection of sports and culture. So we're going to jump right into the culture to start with. We had an incident last night, fellas, between two of our most decorated, entertainers. Obviously, we're talking the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. We're going to sound off on that before we dive into the sports world. I want to spin the mic. AC, the floor is yours. If you could be so kind, brother, to just turn your phone this way so we can get you in the full landscape mode, get rid of those borders on the side so we can get the full perspective. Certainly appreciate you, brother. The floor is yours, man. Tell us what happened yesterday with this Chris Rock and Will Smith situation, and do it with no filter, as you always do so eloquently.
No, I'm going to put a little bit of filter on. We've talked about it a little bit. I've seen it all day. Like I said, it was the most cool-ass shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand how you allow the entire world, literally the entire world that paid attention to any kind of entertainment or anything, to call your wife a whore, to have her emasculate you over and over and over again. And then I just found out, I guess she said she's not always satisfied in the bedroom and blah, blah, blah. So she emasculates you to promote her show. You've got all kinds of people who you've definitely been in the room with who have said something about your personal goings on. And you wait to attack 150-pound Chris Rock in the forum like the Oscars, just to show off for white folk and do all that other coon ass shit. It was so ridiculous to me. And like I said, and I'm sure everybody here has as well, I've smacked a person or two in my life, more than once. And every single person I've ever smacked or had to punch or whatever, they knew it was coming. They knew that they did whatever they needed to do, whatever they said or did to deserve that smack. You watch Chris Rock and watch this man walk up to him. There is no thought in his mind that he's about to get smacked in the face on live television like that. It was some sucker shit to me. It was, again, you watch Sam Jack was supposed to getting an award last night. Will Smith was about to be recognized for his work, and I didn't hear one thing about it. I didn't even know he won until this morning. I didn't see anything from Sam Jack's speech. And I also don't want to absolve Jada Pink in this, to where we touched on it before. Any woman knows her man. She knows her man, and they've been together a long time. So everybody's broken down the video. He laughed at first. He looks over at her. She eggs him on. He gets up and does what he does. She didn't stick a hand out to stop him. Hey, babe, relax, calm down, blah, blah, blah. She didn't do any of that stuff. Chris Rock's joke, he's a comedian. He's been edgy his entire career. He said edgy jokes about other people there too, but this is the hill you die on. You don't smack the man that betted your wife, but you smacked probably one of the smallest men in the room. I just thought it was totally disgusting. I don't want to rant too much, so I'm going to let other people go on. And then I'll follow up because I also have to remember as a writer, there's not too much that I'm going to say uh, that might get me in trouble down the road. But beyond the fact that I cannot hide the fact that by far, and I've seen a lot of coon shit in my life, this by far is the most coon ass thing I've ever seen. One of the most pathetic displays, and come to find out, this was the first time the Oscar crew was all black. This is where you choose to do that stupid shit. This is where you choose to do it. And that's what happens. You have a lot of people who mention, well, he's got money, so it doesn't matter. Whoever says that, that's how you know they support coon shit and that they would sell you out if somebody came up with a proper amount, that they would sell themselves out. And that's why I don't keep anybody like that in my circle. I don't like to know anybody. That's why I turned off all my social media because I don't even want to know right now who's got a little bit of coon in their heart. It's just it was too much for me. It really was. It was too much for me. So this is a muted response. So I want other people to go. So I have a little bit of time not to go too far. Now I've worked on not going too far before we get on air.
AC, we certainly appreciate that, man. We're gonna keep this mic spinning. The mic is hot. AC's got the mic hot. We're gonna keep it spinning. AD, man, what did you make of that, man?
Well, I'm gonna hit it from a couple of avenues. The first avenue I hit it is I was disappointed in Will Smith. Um, that was supposed to be a celebration for him and Samuel L. Jackson. And we didn't get to give those gentlemen their flowers properly as they should have. The thing I disagree with AC with one thing, and the thing is about the disrespect of his wife. When they are in an agreement of an open relationship, his wife is supposed to get ripped by other dudes. That's what an open relationship is. I mean, that's what it is, fam.
I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you one time because if it was truly open, everybody saw that man's heart break when she said entanglement. So if it was really open, I know people who are poly. I know people who have open relationships. They don't care if their wife gets some on the side. They don't cry. They don't tear up. They're like, okay, good for you, babe. That's an open relationship. Right. You don't react the way that he said that he's been hurt. This was the result of blah, blah, blah. If they were in open, that means that joke, he wasn't smacking him for that joke last night. He was smacking him for everything. That is pathetic.
Well, if that's the case, then did you do your homework on Chris Tucker? He always goes at Jada Pinkett. He went at Jada Pinkett in the 2016 Oscar show.
I saw that. Mm-hmm. Believe me, people have flooded me with all the facts all day.
All right. So do you know what alopecia is?
Yes, I do.
Right.
One of the great alopecia jokes was from Kevin Garnett against Charlie Villanueva. Great joke.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Charlie.
Right. And you see, and even Charlie V, he even responded to what Chris Rock said. Like, no, that's a disease that people suffer from, that people really have concerns about. You know what I mean? About their self. I'm not saying that. I'm not condoning what Will Smith did. I'm actually. I told you. I thought he let down the culture. I think he should have handled it a totally different way. But at the same time, Chris Rock, you know what I mean? He's he's a responsible comedian. And for him to tell the world that he didn't know about her having alopecia, he's lying. I knew about that. And it was on millions of platforms. So for him to say that he didn't know about that was BS too. Like I said, man, I just thought the whole culture just took a L because Will Smith wanted to act stupid. I don't think he's wrong for protecting his wife about her alopecia, but I think he's wrong for how he went about it. He embarrassed himself, he embarrassed his family, and he embarrassed the culture by doing that. And he, like I said, he took away from him and Samuel L. Jackson getting their flowers. Like, Samuel L. Jackson got his first Oscar last night after over 150 movies.
Now, I want to touch really quick. I'm not going to take too much time because I want to hear from you, brothers. But I am going to say this, man. Dave Chappelle was spot on. Dave Chappelle said comedy is the last open form of expression, open form of art and expression. AD, we've grown up making fun of Whitney Houston for being addicted to crack. We've grown up making fun of Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder for being blind. We've grown up making fun of way more we've grown up making fun of fucking Magic Johnson having HIV. Now, with respects to alopecia, because I have family members who have alopecia. For those who don't know, Ayanna Presley is family of mine. Ayanna has been bold enough to come out with her alopecia, but I want to say this. We can't make fun of Whitney Houston being addicted to crack cocaine. We can't make fun of R. Kelly being a predator with little girls. We make fun of everything. Comedy is the last open form of free expression. And it's always been that way since we were children up till now. Dave Chappelle just did a stand-up. They paid him $80 million to berate probably the most sensitive group of people in the world currently. That is comedy. You can't tell me that obesity and all the other disabilities, we've made fun of mental retardation our whole life. How many times have we called people mentally retarded?
Right. But there's also been individuals who also correct them, like not to bring up, but like you also have, and I corrected you and other people in the group, like when we was talking about people who are with autism and stuff. Like my daughter has hydrocephalus, man. Like that's a serious. My daughter, like I don't know if people know this. You go Google what hydrocephalus is, fam. Like my daughter could die in her sleep any day.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
So, and you reached out to me as my friend and my brother, and you put me onto that, and you made me privy to that. What I'm saying is, I'm not a comedian, and I look at you as a friend, AD. So once you told me that, I've been more conscious of that. The entire trip since then. This was years ago.
Right. That was just an example. Like at the end of the day, my daughter doesn't have autism, but my daughter has something similar that's similar to the brain and causes all types of.
If you notice, AD, from the day you hit me privately and put me onto that, I ain't said a word about that. That was a running joke for me. I used to joke about it all the time. I'll never forget it. You called me off the group. You hit my line personally because you got my line because we homies. Mm-hmm. You hit me and I never said another word about it because that's close to home. But again, I'm not a comedian. But if you study the history of comedy,
yeah, right about that. Yeah,
the history of comedy, everything is no holds bar. We made fun of Bobby Brown after he lost his wife, his son, his daughter, and we still make fun of him. Magic Johnson has probably the worst autoimmune disease that you can have, and we've been making fun of Magic Johnson for 30 fucking years. So for anyone to get so sensitive to the point behind alopecia, when we make fun of R. Kelly for raping little fucking girls in the name of comedy, in the name of free art and expression. Alopecia doesn't have the cachet, if you will, to override rape, to override drug addiction, to override mental. I have a wife. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody violate my wife. Not me. And also, know that my wife has a condition. Lucky he didn't talk about the situation. If all he got was a G.I. Jane joke, you got to let that motherfucking ride, dog. Because you wouldn't have done it if it was Jimmy Kimmel up there. You wouldn't have done it if it was any other white boy up there. You wouldn't have done it. If it was a bigger black man, you wouldn't have done it either. You chose a 58-year-old, 150-pound Chris Rock to make an example of? Come on, Will Smith. You're not fooling me. You ain't no tough dude. Let's cut it out. If that was The Rock up there, all 285 pounds of pure muscle, is he slapping The Rock? So it's not about defending his wife. It's about he knew who to try that shit with because he ain't putting his hands on The Rock. He ain't putting his hands on Chappelle. He did that shit to a 58-year-old, 150-pound Chris Rock and called it defending his wife. No, I'm not with it, man. Again, I'm a married motherfucking man. Can't nobody disrespect my wife. Not my mother, not nobody. There's not a person in this universe who could disrespect my wife, but at the same time, I don't pick and choose when to defend my wife when it's convenient. I don't give a fuck who you are. AC mentioned James Harrison. James Harrison and me gonna have to do whatever we got to do, but you can't disrespect my wife regardless of who you are. I love Will Smith. I love what Will Smith represents to our culture. Will Smith was 1,000% wrong, and I cannot support anything he did last night. I don't want to take up too much time because I got to hear from my man Spicy Ralph and C-Mac, of course. Ralph, the floor is yours.
I believe last night was a culmination of bent up and misplaced anger and energy. I believe Will Smith was tired of being the butt of the joke. In this case, I believe he's mad at his wife. That's his real issue. She's an embarrassment. She's a complete and total and utter embarrassment. I don't believe they have an actual open marriage because then he wouldn't be upset about August. It doesn't make sense. He literally like cried, like
broke down in front of the world.
It broke him, and then to compact that, she went on Ellen. She made him take him a joke, and her and all the other women sat up there and laughed at him. And then to compound that, you go back on the show again and essentially tell everybody how unsatisfied you are with your sex life with your husband. Man, what are you doing?
And you missed Tupac.
And I forgot about Tupac. And it's 20-something years later, you over here grieving like you miss this man's genitals. Man, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, seriously, it's a disgrace. You compound all that, and you put him in this situation, which I don't think he thought was that heavy initially. You could tell by his face. I don't think he thought it was that bad. He seen her. He tried to I'm going to show you I can be a man. So he did what he did. Then after the fact, when he took his acceptance speech, you can tell it wasn't really about the joke or Chris Rock. It was just about the culmination of the embarrassment.
He was tired of being the butt of the joke. You spot on, Ralph. Spot on.
He's a broken man. The issue is clearly Jada Pinkett. She has a Jezebel spirit. That's the best way I can say it. She has a Jezebel spirit. She does everything. I'm so sincere because I don't want to sit up there. I can get bad. I don't want to sit up there and start cussing.
You can say succubus. I can say it for you if you're scared to say it because that's exactly what she is.
She's bringing down, like, granted, I don't think Will Smith is perfect at all. However, the person that you see now is not the person we've known. I don't think he's in the place he's in now because of his own evolution. It's because of her. If she did not exist, he would still be this great man. Now he's this sucker. He's from Philly. He's from Philly. Gilly, Beanie Siegel, all the dudes, Cassidy, anything Philly dudes do, Philly dudes defend. They can't defend this. There's no way.
It was a bad look for black men. It was a bad look for men. The bad look for men.
Terrible look for men. And all these women sitting up there justifying it they're showing the disconnect between men and women. I wish my man would do the same thing. No, you don't. You don't wish that. He's unstable. And that's what y'all are hoping for. That's the problem right now. It's a sad thing. I hope the man gets some help and he figures this out. He really needs to go sit down somewhere and he needs to be away from her. He needs to get away from her. He needs to divorce her. That's what he needs to do. Fuck love. Divorce, get rid of her. She gotta go.
Talk about it, bro. C-Mac, man. Close us out on this topic, man. Close us out on this, C-Mac.
Has Will Smith ever put his wife out there? Do you guys ever remember Will Smith talking about Jada in an inappropriate way, all her improprieties, or her lack of decision making? I don't ever seen Will Smith. I've never seen him disrespect her openly. She made Will Smith a product and emasculated that man last year for the benefit of her red table talk. She had a young man in her house who was seeking mental help, support, quote unquote, and as AC would say, she bedded him. Right? Then turned around and said, hey, Will, this might be your fault because Will did it too. Right. That's point one. Point two, during the civil rights movement, what do Red Fox as later on, Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney, what do they all have in common?
They say whatever they want.
Whatever the fuck they want about white people, right? Imagine if they are saying all the things that Red Fox used to say, goddamn Paul Mooney used to say. Imagine if some white folks got up and drugged them off the floor, off the stage, and burned them motherfuckers up and lynched them. They did not. Do y'all know who Paul Mooney is and how Paul Mooney is disrespectful?
Negro dominance.
Paul Mooney was talking about white women sleeping with animals, all that shit. Never once did somebody say Paul Mooney, or somebody try to go up and smack Paul Mooney because of the expressive art that is black comedy. Right?
That's comedy, period, because George Carlin was just as racy.
Exactly.
R.I.P. to George.
So, as we dig back to emasculation, right? Will Smith kindly laughed at the joke. He then looked at his wife's face and said, "Oh shit, I might be back in the doghouse. So let me go up here.
Or August might be back in my house.
Yes, it's going to be a long night for me unless I go do something." Right? Instead, he chose on the night where a black man produced the Oscars, he chose to go and slap Chris Rock instead of waiting 30 seconds to go backstage and handle his business. Yeah. He chose to attack a man who is 100 pounds lighter than him, who probably knew he wasn't going to fight back, right? So instead of, let's see, he would have never, like so say we do it, never did it to Carson. He would never did it to Leno. He would have never did it. He would have never did it to freaking Colbert. You know who else he would have done it to? I bet you he would have done that to Trevor Noah. Why would he have done that to them?
Or August Alsina?
Nah, definitely not.
All of them. And your point, the names that you mentioned are all talk show hosts who nightly, 5 days a fucking week, had Will Smith monologues and jokes, who he sat down and promoted his movie, who he promoted King Richard with. All those people made the exact same fucking jokes, and he chose not to smack them, which is why it's so disgusting that he chose Chris Rock.
Google the Arsenio Hall show, point number 4. Google the Arsenio Hall show when Will Smith made fun of the band member of Arsenio Hall's band about alopecia. That's point 5. Right? Will Smith attacked a man who had a movie called Good Hair in defense of his daughter. Right? So Will Smith is not a stranger to Chris Rock. So the best thing about comedians sometimes is that sometimes they know who to go there with. And for those 0.5 seconds that Will Smith was laughing, he and Chris Rock was like, yeah, I could go there with my bro. Let's not pretend that Chris Rock is a stranger to Will Smith. Will Smith or Jada. I don't want to hear that he made fun of them before. Every single opportunity that dudes get to make fun of people that get the LOLs going, they are going to. It is their money. It is their bank. I don't want to hear Will Smith went out like an absolute sucker. And I don't even want to hear the bullshit like, yeah, a man gonna have to do, you can't play with a man's boom, boom, boom. Listen, I was married once, right? And when somebody gave her a problem at her school, her job, right? Ironically, that person wasn't working there next year. The person never disrespected her in that such a whatever, right? But it was disrespectful in my opinion. The person never worked in BPS again. It just happens, right? Now, what's going to happen now is you're looking at Will Smith. Had he punched, what did all the white dudes who hated on Will Smith after that say? I would have called the cops. I would have had him arrested. What did the black man he slapped in the face say? No, I'm not getting him arrested. Why? Because Will Smith knew Chris wasn't calling the cops. Shit is ridiculous. He leveraged the black community, and he forced folks to pick sides, and that's the worst thing you could do. So,
Absolutely.
in the kindest possible way ever, 100% absolutely fuck Will Smith.
Very well said. Hey man, we gotta spin the camera to the founding father of what we do over here at Sit and Talk. Commish, welcome, my brother.
What's up, fellas?
Congrats, Dana. I wasn't gonna mess up.
Where's the cigars?
I wasn't gonna mess up you and West bro balling, free balling post the other day about Kobe getting some shit from Shaheen Holloway. I was like, let me give my man a break, yo. I'll let y'all ball wash each other in there.
Shout out to the Commish and his brand new baby boy.
Yes,
named after Uncle Noah. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my man.
Is that true? Is the child really named after Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my wife. My wife
Yeah.
wanted to name him Noah. She wanted to keep it in the Bible type shit. Like I was with it. It was whatever. I told him so late. I was like, I can't tell this nigga. I was like, I can't tell Noah that's his name.
Did you tell her the repercussions of doing that? Like this right now? In that, like what you're seeing right now?
AC, I told her.
Yo,
I swear to God. I swear, like literally, I was like, yo, listen. I was like, this is a big decision. I was like, yo, I gotta fucking, like, she knows Noah well. I'm like, you know what I'm about to go through with this dude once I tell him. And our kids go to the same school, so I'll pick up my son from school. I wouldn't tell him nothing yet. Like, I just told him a few months ago.
We're about to pay for all your sins, bro.
Hey, DC, me and the wife just ordered up a bunch of shit with the name Noah on it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you got a built-in babysitter forever. Just drop him off to the crib. You ain't got to ask. You know, Uncle Noah got baby Noah anytime. You know, we love you, bro. Congratulations, man. Please tell Mrs. Commish that we send our love, man. We're so glad that she delivered a healthy baby and she's doing well. The SNT family.
I just walked in the crib. Just left the hospital. She's still up there. I just walked in the crib.
Beautiful,
and
man.
Seeing we were still live late, so I said, I'm jumping on.
We appreciate
One
that.
last thing about Will Smith.
We got to move on from this, C-Mac. Make it quick.
Yeah, fuck this nigga.
If you know you had to apologize or you would eventually have to apologize, you would have never committed the act. If you were a true Philly brother, like you say you are. That's it. That's all I got.
You say you shouldn't apologize?
He shouldn't have apologized. If you knew he was going to go over there and smack him, and you knew what the consequences were walking up, because you would have known, you would have been sane enough to not smack Kimmel. So you knew. So you right. If you knew you had, listen, man, I ain't apologizing for nothing. If I gotta, I took a chair and threw it on the court once during the game.
Okay, Bob, man.
Threw it, and then I sat on the thing and held the ball, and then I was like, "You gonna have to throw me out." And
I did that shit too at the Sunday League.
And then
I did it against Frankie and Jason and Darren, all of them. I threw the whole chair at the table.
The MIAA was like, all you gotta do is write an apology.
Hold on, fellas. We're gonna reel this in. We got a lot of stuff to unpack in a little bit of time. Commish, you want to touch on this Will Smith situation, man?
I do, real quick. I just wanted to, because the only person I heard speak on this a little bit was Corey, and I just wanted to kind of like speak to his thought on the situation. That where, like, Will Smith doesn't go in the doghouse. One, he builds the doghouses and chooses to put himself in, and if he chooses that, he doesn't go in the doghouse ever. Like, he is the man. He runs that role. He's the situation in that relationship. At the end of the day, nigga, she ain't had a career in like 20 years. So, but I think that situation, and I heard Corey say like when Jada laughed. And he was just like, no, he kind of changed it. I don't agree with that because later, I don't know if you've seen his post-interview, he was like, I'm tired of laughing things off. And I think that's what he went through at that moment. I think he tried to go along with the joke in a way and just to like keep it cool. But I think he's seen how bothered his wife was. I don't think he should have smacked him either, but I ain't mad at it because that shit was good today. That was funny, but he smacked the piss out of him. But he remade the whole Batman and Robin meme. He did that.
But yeah. Just real quick, so we can move on. I agree. I think he could have did that in backstage, but man, like I don't even know how to think about that because the nigga smacked him and they got an Oscar. Like, how G is that? Like,
and you see, but Commish, that's the problem. Hold on, real quick. Once again, we got black violence and black fuckery is white entertainment. As you just said, it's a whole new meme now. You got two prominent black men at both at the tops of their fields who are now jokes, and that is what's being disseminated. We're on just like on Facebook and everything. I can share if one of us were to get shot by the police. You can share that, but we can't write the word. We can't write the word retarded. We can't write faggot. Right. We can't write any of those other words. You can write nigger all day. You can show black men dying. You cannot show. You can't show Asian violence. You can't show any other violence. Will Smith just kept up a meme when how I was unaware until tonight. To y'all brothers educated me about it. It was a black production. It was a black crew. It was a black everything. So the first time the black man is in charge, you got two prominent people behave that way, or one prominent person behave that way. That's what it bothers me to my core.
Acting like the word on Aaron's whiteboard, right behind him. Acting just like that. I think, DC, just to give you a quick synopsis, man, collectively we spoke on all the different points that Will Smith tried to make, and he tried to defend, the folks with alopecia. I said we've been making fun of Magic Johnson for having HIV for 30 fucking years. We made fun. People have been making jokes of Michael Jackson being dead. People have been making jokes about R. Kelly raping young women. People have been making jokes about Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder being blind. People have been making fun of people who battle obesity and fat as shit. People have been making fun of people who have mental retardation and autism. So alopecia will never be on the level of some of these other serious conditions that we make fun of.
Luther
Comedy
Vandross.
is
Luther Vandross. Fat Luther.
Comedy is the last form of free expression. It always has been. Comedians are exempt from typical regulation on what you can and cannot say. Will Smith pick and chose who to do that shit to, because we all say he wouldn't have done that to The Rock. He wouldn't have done that to Chappelle. He wouldn't have done that to no white boy.
It was crazy. Why wouldn't he have done it to Chappelle?
Chappelle, bro, you ain't seen Chappelle lately? Chappelle looked like a fucking linebacker lately.
Yeah, Chappelle's jacked.
Oh, he's big and shit? Oh,
yeah, Chappelle's been in the weight room. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
No,
and that's the problem.
Chappelle about 240. Cut.
If it was about protecting her, he would have done this. How you just said, this was a culmination. He would have done it before.
We can't just say he wouldn't have done it to somebody else.
Sure we can, because he hasn't. He hasn't done it, so we can say.
He didn't do it to August Alsina, who had him crying on national television.
This is why I don't want to go away from this topic, but we can't because y'all are already in y'all zone. But yo, like I don't know why people keep trying to use that situation. That was an open situation. It wasn't.
It wasn't an open situation.
Why was he crying on national television if it's so open?
Listen, if they had an open relationship since the time they've been together, yo.
Why was he crying?
Yes, they did. Yeah, so they did. Why is
he crying? Why did he cry on national television if it's an open situation?
Again, like I said to people earlier, to me personally, this is my opinion. They feed us what they want to feed us. That man has an open relationship with that woman, and it's been like that for a long time.
Your opinion, but see, and that's the thing. Your opinion is based on incomplete information. Because I've been to resorts like that. I think I'm the only one who don't have kids and is single. So I've been to resorts like Temptation. I've been to hedonism. I've been to swinger parties and shit like that. I've met couples who are open relationship. They point at you and go, "Look, fuck my wife." They say shit like that.
No, that's different.
No. They don't react and start crying. They don't start crying and react that way. How you just said, I'm tired of being the brunt of jokes and stuff like that. If they were really open, it wouldn't have bothered them. Wouldn't have bothered them at all.
DC, did you see the clip of when that man heard that information and broke down crying on national television? Did that look like he was privy to what the fuck she was doing?
Exactly. Perfect point.
He had his heart broken on national television with the world to watch. Did that look like he knew what the fuck was going on?
Man, his heart wasn't broken.
Oh, wow.
See that shit? DC, go watch that shit.
I see.
We know men, bro. He broke down fucking crying.
Yo, cuz.
But nonetheless,
I will end on this. All that training for Ali, and he even budged Chris Rock.
Yo, cuz.
Listen, real quick. We're gonna spin the mic. We're gonna wrap this topic up. We're gonna spin the mic real quick. Just a quick yes, just a quick answer. I know most of y'all very well. I know most of y'all very well in the sense that we real men. Take care of our kids, take care of our women, hold shit down as men, all highly respected men in here. I don't give a fuck where we are. I don't give a fuck who does it. You can't slap me in my face and nothing fucking happen. I've heard a lot of different takes on people saying where they were, the magnitude of the event, certain level of professionalism. People were applauding Chris Rock's professionalism to carry out the show. That show would have been over the minute anybody put their hands on me. I don't give a fuck. I would have confirmed every stereotype that every pilgrim in that room ever had about black men because it was going the fuck down. I'm fucking everything up. The show is over.
I would have clapped. Yo, bring me that.
The show is over. I'm on the phone with my brother. They shooting the shit up. The show's over. Everybody get up out of here. This show is over.
Yo, cuz, what the fuck is going on?
I want to spin the mic real quick. Could any of you have done what Chris Rock did and maintain your resolve and continue the show after what happened? Kamish, could you have done that?
No.
Absolutely. I already knew your answer, but I had to ask you because you're here. AD, I'm not even going to waste my time asking you. Spicy Ralph, man, could you have pulled yourself together and continued your show that you were hired to do? Now, I know he got a little bag for that, but Chris Rock's already worth $70 million. I don't know why he needed that extra bag for the justification on allowing the show to continue.
He's on tour.
Ralph,
He's on tour.
Exactly. He'll be in Boston soon, actually. I heard his Boston sales sold out faster than any show, than the entire tour overnight.
Because of AC's point.
Now, C-Mac, I really feel like I don't even got. Actually, I don't even feel like I got to ask any of y'all brothers if y'all could have continued that show.
Actually, I might have been able to hold my composure because I would have wanted to finish it out later. I know attacking him there, it would have been stopped. But
AC, you're full of shit.
I think I could have. I think I could have.
10 years. If a motherfucker disagree with you, you ask him to shoot a fair one, and I love that about you.
No.
That's how me and this dude started talking.
No, I'm telling you, I think I would have been aware of the situation.
We still might end up fighting, bro.
AC, do
I might have been.
Yo, you gotta understand this. At the Oscars, they are fucking wet. They are drinking some of the finest liquor and champagne there, cuz.
No, I know. It's an all industry party. I think I would have preferred. To handle him backstage, so it wouldn't have been stopped. I could have gotten a little bit more in. But do I think I could have done it? Probably not. But there might be a little bit of.
Let me ask you a question though. Wait, hold up, AC. But how long has it been since you've been in a relationship?
A few months.
Was it like serious? Like
for me to stop dating, it's always serious. Like if I'm talking to one chick, it's serious. Yeah.
All right, so you had, because my reason why I'm asking you this, because it's like everybody says they know how they react, but you don't know how you'll probably react if you don't know how you feel for the person.
I've been in my longest relationship with my lady was 13 years.
Okay.
And there's been situations, one time in New York especially, where someone came a little bit out of pocket, and I chased the dude. I beat this dude to an inch of his life, and he went to the cops crying and shit like that. But again, I feel like there would have been, how you said, there would have been no previous jokes. The fact that he chose this time, I think we all agree, and this is stuff that I didn't know immediately. He said, I guess in his speech, that this was a culmination of a bunch of jokes. If you're a real dude, there ain't no bunch of jokes, and that's why I fucking think he's a bitch.
Because it was emotional buildup.
There's no bunch of jokes. If you talk about, in fact. You asked me if I've been in a relationship. If I'm on a fucking date with a girl, it's our first date, and someone gets out of pocket, they're getting smacked. I'm not going to contemplate the shit. I'm not going to do all this. Oh, it's built up. No, shit don't build up with me. You guys just said it doesn't build up with me. You're disrespectful. We handle it right then and there. Only a bitch would do what he did. He didn't attack the people who made fun of him. He attacked a professional comedian who made fun of the whole room.
No,
There is
I
no
have to
build up.
disagree with that, bro. I gotta disagree with that. Like, it's different from people making jokes about his situation with the August thing and that. But this is a medical condition his wife has. This is different.
Wait a
A
minute.
comedian who's made fun of medical conditions all the
I'm
time.
just
She doesn't
saying,
have cancer.
as
She's
far
not
as
gonna
his
die from
feelings,
alopecia.
as far as his reaction, I'm saying. As far
She's
as
not
his
gonna die from alopecia. It's not that
DC,
serious.
DC, check this out. C-Mac just informed us years ago when Will Smith was on the Arsenio Hall show, he made fun of somebody for having alopecia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, facts.
It just adds more to the disingenuousness. It's like I almost can't even speak. It is just such a bitchified, coon ass thing to do. I was shocked when I saw the actual shit because somebody sent me. I guess if you saw it live or something like that, or you tried to find it in the U.S., it was edited and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me an Australian feed
Yeah.
last night, and so when I actually saw, because I didn't see any other version, I only saw the real, raw footage of it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the way he walked away. I couldn't believe that there was no security. I could not believe the whole thing. And then once I started getting more information, it became even more fucking pathetic to me.
Yo,
Even more pathetic.
Yo, man.
Wait,
switch
wait,
the
wait.
topic, Nolan, man.
So, wait. Just so we're clear,
Hold on, Ralph. We gotta move forward, brother. We 10 minutes over on this subject. I got a lot of stuff to unpack, fellas. As I mentioned, man, this is the intersection of sports and culture. We're gonna touch on current events culture-wise. We're gonna touch on current events sports-wise, man. What we do here. This is SNT Sports, man. So we got to get into the world of sports. A lot of good things going on since we last convened. I want to touch on, first and foremost, Mayor Eric Adams, mayor of New York City, removed the mandate. The mandate is removed. Players are now allowed. Fuck all of y'all. Nets up.
Oh, shit.
We starting off with this. You heard?
Last place team, non-playoff team.
Win 6-22 at home.
Yeah.
The mandate has been removed. Players are now allowed to play in New York City without being vaccinated. Now, I want to touch on the ancillary parts of this. The NBA had been trying to find some middle ground with the city of New York and the state of New York for months now. No traction. 2 weeks ago, Eric Adams said, you're just going to have to wait. We're not doing anything. The mandate's in place indefinitely. But what I noticed is that Joseph Tsai, who is the CEO of the Brooklyn Nets, he ain't a Steinbrenner. So baseball season's coming up next week. Mandates removed instantly. Talks went from literally 4 days before the mandate was removed, the city of New York announced that the mandates will be in place indefinitely because it's not fair to give Kyrie Irving special privilege. Now the New York Yankees and the New York Mets, their season starts. They've got a bunch of players who are unvaccinated. Boom, mandate gone. We don't talk a lot about baseball, but I wanted to kind of change the angle of this mandate conversation a little bit and talk about the influence that the Steinbrenners have in regards to getting this done. Because make no mistake, the NBA had been trying to do this shit. NBA been trying for a long time, months.
White power.
True.
What?
I mean, it is what it is. Steinbrenner must have sent homeboy a text and said, "Listen, if you like your job," or it just doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't make sense of how baseball season is a week away and the mandate disappears almost instantaneously because the Yankees and Mets players there's a bunch of Yankees and Mets players who aren't vaccinated.
Oh goodness.
AC, you seem to have a neck issue. So we're gonna address you and your neck issue. What are you making of this, AC? Is it purely circumstantial? Is it just?
It's purely circumstantial. The baseball season, they had their strike issues, so that changes some of the timing as well. That's number one. Number two, the New Jersey Nets aren't important enough to warrant change.
New Jersey Nets
aren't important enough to warrant change, especially Kyrie
Boop, mute. AD, we're gonna move right on.
Let me touch this.
They're gonna disrespect me. You got me fucked up.
Yo, good.
AD, we gonna go straight to you, man. AC's on timeout. Do you believe there's any validity to my claim that the owners of these baseball teams have more control and have more influence than anyone else?
Obviously, I mean, the Steinberg definitely got more power than and you got to remember too, like they are the winningest sports franchise ever. Yo, the New Jersey Nets. What's that say underneath, yo?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I muted his mic. I'm about to turn his camera off. Get asshole. Go ahead, AD.
But yeah, man, y'all messing up my take, man.
My fault. You were saying Steinbrenner.
No one wants to talk about his 8th place team.
Yeah, but Steinberg, man, he got. I mean, like,
you want to talk about your 12th place team? Never mind. Go ahead, AD.
I mean, when you are the winningest franchise
ever,
any sport, like you just said, and you have a lot of pilgrims, like Judge, who need to be who are unvaccinated, who need to play. Yeah, they just did all this work for them not to go on strike, and then for them not to have their stars playing because of the unvaccinated rules and regulations. Yeah, Kyrie. Yeah, it wasn't for you, buddy. It was for the Pilgrims, but they could give you the press. Kyrie could play.
Kyrie ain't halfway important as in baseball players.
Thank you.
Now,
I'm not trying to knock him, but he's not.
No, facts. And that's why the conversation it wasn't just about the mandate. I wanted to look at this from this lens because I just found it really difficult to believe. Literally 4 days before they removed it, Eric Adams in the city of New York said the mandates are in place indefinitely. It's not fair to give Kyrie Irving special privilege. Then boom, 4 days later, the shit is gone once the Yankees and the Mets get cleared to start their season. I say all that to say I was never quite sure what the mandate was in place for because, it got to the point where it was so ridiculous that Kyrie Irving is sitting courtside with no mask on for an entire weekend at his Duke game and at a Nets game, but he couldn't play. I think we all lost sight of what the purpose of this mandate was for. If the goal was to keep people safe, then things got really just flimsy. You know what I mean? The infrastructure of what these mandates were supposed to do were just overridden and really just made a mockery of when it came time for baseball season to start. C-Mac, I want to hear your take on that. Is there any validity, do you believe, to what I'm saying in terms of baseball saying the mandate's over so the mandate was over?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. You're talking about like years and years of of Italian stronghold on New York City.
The wise guys, the good old boys.
Yeah, they put people in political office. They got judges out there. They got police officers out there. They got police captains and police chiefs. 100%. Like, those are the people. Black basketball players don't eat for free in New York. You know who eats for free in New York?
Yankees.
Paul O'Neill, Brett Boone, freaking Don Mattingly, right? All these, maybe Posada. Derek Jeter. They ain't gonna remember the Nets win a NBA title this year. What you think gonna happen? The Knicks are still gonna be in town. If you think Kyrie Irving was on, I will say this: if Kyrie Irving was on the Knicks and the Knicks were contenders, you better believe that shit would have been lifted. You better believe.
I agree with that.
You better believe that shit would have been lifted.
I agree with that.
I disagree. I think
I agree with that. See,
I agree. I think he was going to lift it anyway because it made no sense in New York State. If you work for the public, i.e., let's say you work, if you're a cop, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you work in a private sector, i.e., you work at Target, you got to wear a mask. That doesn't make sense. How are you going to say Target workers have to wear a mask because they work in a private sector?
They're inside of a building.
But the police would encounter more people, or just as many, don't you think?
I agree, but I'm just thinking probably why they do it. Maybe
it didn't make sense. He was getting flack for it anyway. I think the only reason why he said the indefinitely thing was to stick it to Kyrie and Kevin Durant because they pretty much called them out. I think he was simply trying to stick it to him. I think he was going to lift it. He was already going to lift it, and he prolonged it to f them. Like y'all, you can't tell me what to do. I think it was no more than that. I think he was already going to lift it. He just prolonged it based on them. I think it was no more than that.
Interesting.
Good point.
I just, I was having a conversation. You know, I still got plenty of family back home in Brooklyn. I was having a conversation with them. And my grandfather been on Linden Boulevard for 40 years, and he was saying, you know, it's absolutely the Steinbrenners and them that the shit that it ain't political. There was no health concern. There was no CDC. This was the NYY, the New York fucking Yankees, said the shit is over, so the shit is fucking over. I thought we should talk about it on here. Good points, fellas.
Hold up, real quick. I do want to talk about the basketball aspect of it. As everybody knows, Kyrie.
Who unmuted you?
I unmuted me. As everybody knows, Kyrie is prone to injury, and what has happened now, and we've seen what he looks like a fully rested Kyrie. Like, despite the fact of what he is, a fraud, his basketball talent is undeniable. So now you have a fully rested Kyrie about to go into the playoffs, who this was a year that he was on track to be injured. Now he hasn't played all year. He's coming in fresh. So you literally have a 30-point per game scorer, fresher than everybody else. Fresher than everybody else. That is a huge so that is a huge advantage to the New Jersey Nets. Huge advantage that I think not a lot of people are talking about.
They better get their fucking ass out of that current seed because I do not want to see Trae Young for one game. Sorry, I don't. If I'm
they
them,
better get Simmons back. If Simmons don't play, it's a wrap.
I don't want to see Trae Young in New York. Sorry.
Listen, we're gonna move forward and we're gonna keep it in the Atlantic division. So Boston Celtics, hottest team in the league for sure. I have my disclaimers about their streak that they're on, but at whatever reason they're still the hottest team in the league. They took a massive blow. They took a massive blow overnight. Rob Williams, the anchor of the best defense in the league, is scheduled to miss several weeks with a torn meniscus. Fellas, what does that mean for this team? I want to start with some green team guys. So Ralph, lead us off, man. What does the loss of Rob Williams for at least the next month mean for you guys?
It is depressing. It's very depressing. It is. It is. He was a huge part of what they do. Because he allowed guys like Marcus Smart and Tatum and Brown to gamble a little bit because he could erase a lot of their mistakes on the perimeter. Because you get to the hole, Robert Williams could clean a lot of that stuff up, or at least make the shot harder. He was a big. There's nobody else on that team who can do what he does. He has a lob threat every time, and defensively he was borderline, in the defensive player of the year running. So it's a huge loss. The upside is I think they can get out the first round. And that's about the time he'd be back. So hopefully he's back by round 2. But over the next few weeks, it's going to be interesting for the Celtics. I'm not sure. I don't know what they can do to replace him. I'm just not sure.
They could have used him. They could have used him tonight for sure.
Well, they rested everybody. Everybody rested.
Yeah, they
AC
tonight.
AC, talk to me about the loss of Rob Williams. What does it mean for the Celtics moving forward with obviously a deep playoff aspiration?
It's huge. It's huge, but not unexpected. I've argued that you absolutely can predict injuries. I've said so. And he's a player that was the 22nd late first round pick, which was a joke with the talent that we all see. Like his talent and what the man can do at 6'8", 6'9", and 7'6" wingspan, we can see he can pass. You can see he can defend, shooting like 72% from the field. Uh, but he barely can play 10 games in a row, which is why he signed the contract that he signed. When you have a player who has a less than stellar motor, he doesn't do the things that help prevent injuries like this. He's literally injured once a month. Tonight, the Celtics basically tanked tonight's game. They had Tatum out, they had Brown out. The bench came in and had it spirited. I of course, took the points with the Celtics. I knew that they would come out and do this, and they end up losing. But Rob Williams, what I read today, that he's probably going to have surgery. They're trying to look for the least invasive surgery that they can so that he might be able to come back this year. But I personally feel he's going to opt for surgery and be done for the rest of the year. I think they're going to lose. I think that he's not going to come back. I think they're angling right now like they did tonight because they easily could have beat Toronto with Tatum or Brown on the floor. I think they're angling to get back into that 3 to 5 range. I think they had no intention of being up here at the number one spot because both the 7th or 8th seeds could beat the Celtics in the 7-game series. I think both conferences have that issue. But Rob Williams, he's a player that is going to be injured his entire career. I think he's going to be injured the next couple of years, and then when it's time for him to re-up, he's going to have the best season of his career. I'll print it right now that's exactly what's going to happen.
We appreciate you, AC. C-Mac, give us some perspective, man. How big is this loss of Rob Williams for the C's?
Well, it's huge, right? Their wing denial, so they're good at pretty much denying the wing, allowing dudes to catch the ball further away from the basket. Rob Williams, who doesn't play under the basket, he's able to rotate up a little bit. So instead of waiting for them to get to the basket, he sort of picks them up at the charge line. So it makes it different. It really allows Tatum and Brown and those other wing defenders to catch up and then recover after that. And then the key for the Celtics defense is that he helps them hold teams to one shot. So that's really been the difference, right? Their ability, like Tatum playmaking a little bit more, right? Because you got to make plays for Robert Williams because Robert Williams is a lazy fuck. I will say that. But I think that the Celtics, and I watched them up close. By the way, I'm interviewing Jaylen Brown's mother tomorrow. I got to send y'all the link. But I think Rob Williams and it has allowed them to really, really run different schemes as he's never really playing man-to-man. I want y'all to watch him the next time he's on the court or watching his cells. He's never covering his guy. He's just never going to. He doesn't need to, especially when Horford's out there, right? So, and then his ability to sort of like show and recover, not his ability to switch. They only show and recover with him. He's not allowed to switch out on the ball unless they sort of change their scheme. All that shit goes out the window, and now people are just going to go back to abuse and Tice. Al Horford at the 5 is never the answer. Right? Because then he's just going to get beat down the floor. They're in trouble. I think we're going to see the Celtics start looking like, and then people are like, oh, Marcus Smart. Shout out to my man Kevin Black, who loves Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart shot 2 for 11 from 3 today. Right? 10 for 25. Right? Like, that's their season right there. I hate to say it. Like Brown could get 40, and what's his name, or Tatum could get 40, and Brown could get 30, and then what? And then what? Because you're gonna go from giving up 98 to start giving up 120. So that's
wow. What kind of an impact, C-Mac?
Huh?
That kind of an impact. 20 points.
That kind of an impact. Yeah, definitely that kind of impact. Watch. Well, I mean, what they give up tonight. I mean, yeah, they didn't have Tatum and Brown out there, but those other dudes try harder. Tatum's still not Tatum. The greatest thing about Tatum is a superstar. I've been hating on Tatum for a while, but he is a superstar. And I will tell you that Tatum still, after all of this, still takes a lot.
He's becoming a superstar.
Yeah. Well, he still takes a lot of plays off, which speaks to the ceiling for his talent. He gets away with a lot. He really does. I want you to watch him carefully. But hey, I think he's great. I think he's able to do a lot. I think he's improved. I think he's playmaking better. I think he's picking the spots. He only attacks one-on-one situations now. So yeah.
AD.
It's a huge loss for the Celtics. When you have your anchor, who leads your defensive unit, not there anymore, it's gonna be a setback. I mean, I know he's top 3 in the league in blocks, but it's not about just the blocks for him.
Right.
He alternates a lot of shots. He disguises the Celtics' mistakes they have defensively because of his length and his agility to move. AC also brought up that the man leads the NBA in field goal percentage. The man shoots 73% from the field.
It's like 3 shots a game.
No, he doesn't, DC. He actually takes a little more, but I understand. Like Capella, all those guys got high field goal percentages. But at the end of the day, you still gotta make yourself available, and you still gotta put the ball in the hole, and he's doing it.
Correct. Right.
So it's gonna be a big loss. Not to piggyback off AC, I think they're definitely gonna try to get into that 3rd or 4th seed because
they don't want to see us first round.
It's like Corey said that they could lose to both of those teams first round.
They'll definitely lose to us.
It's just the matchups. It's not a good matchup for the Celtics.
I don't know. I think the Celtics present a really, really bad matchup for Brooklyn, unless they need Ben Simmons against the Celtics. That's how I feel.
Simmons is done. Simmons ain't coming. Simmons not coming. They said he's not.
No, they can't. But I'm saying they can't beat the Celtics. If I'm the Celtics, I'm riding with that. The Celtics without obviously with Williams, if Williams was there. So never mind. Let me take that back because Williams is not there. With Williams there, the Nets had no shot against the Celtics. No shot.
C-Mac, that's fucking ridiculous. It took Tatum 54 points to beat us by 6.
It doesn't matter. I don't think Brown played that game, bro. Brown wasn't playing that game.
Yes, he was. They were full strength.
Jalen Brown played. He had like 19 points.
Yeah, they were full strength, and it took Tatum 54 points to beat us by 6. Tatum won't have 50 against us again.
And I watched the net. I watched the Hornets. I watched Miles Bridges go to work on y'all.
No, not fucking. It wasn't Miles Bridges. It was LaMelo.
Oh well, Miles Bridges had like 23. LaMelo had 30.
And that was Kyrie's worst game of the season. That's not going to happen again.
Why wouldn't it?
I was shocked.
I mean, we're talking about a nice seed. We're talking about a nice seed.
To talk about. Next up, excuse me, DC. You were a Laker dude, so I wasn't sure if you wanted to touch on this Rob Williams situation. But we're gonna give you the floor if you choose. What does this Rob Williams mean for the season?
He is always injured, but I mean, instead of them, with him gone now, instead of the Celtics losing in 6, it'll just be 5 now.
That is not an unbiased opinion.
But honestly, I do agree with Corey with the matchup with Brooklyn and Boston. As much as I don't rock with Boston, I do think that's a scary matchup for Brooklyn. I'm gonna keep it real because like they kind of like to Tatum likes to play KD.
He does.
You know what I mean? He likes to show out against that dude. And I think with Kyrie being back and as much energy he got right now, I think they would have still put the pause on them. But I think it would have been a good series with them too if Robert Williams was still there.
It probably would have. And what the Celtics did is they started the night on track to play the Nets. Now they're on track to play the Bulls.
Right.
That is a huge difference in your first round matchup.
How many games Celtics got left? 7, 8?
7 to 8 now.
Yeah.
They got a rough schedule?
I haven't seen the rest of the schedule because I was more curious as to see what they were going to try to do for positioning. I really do think they hit that number 1 seed by accident. I think they got hot, and I think that's also why you saw them rest the players that they did tonight. To me, it's criminal. Like they didn't put that on the injury report till sometime around like 2, maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'd already started to look at my bets and stuff like that for the day, and all of a sudden I get a notice saying that not only is Rob Williams on track for surgery, but both Tatum and Brown just ain't going to play. They're not even hurt. They just ain't going to play.
They just said rust. They said rust.
Yeah.
It's a rush.
I'm honestly forgetting they picked up Drummond and Seth Curry. That makes it even worse for the football. I forgot all about that.
But this is what other people are not forgetting too. They just picked up Okafor and they picked up Nick Stauskas.
They did.
Okafor's trash.
Okafor is not trash.
You know what's crazy with that Okafor? Like he came in the league at the wrong time. He came in.
I still think he's salvageable.
He came in with he was a. If the league would have stayed as the big man, he'll be one of the best big men in the league right now.
He's very skillful, bro.
If they stayed at the big man type of game, but it went to that shooting type shit, and there was no space for him.
Both him and Marvin Bagley. You can't tell me that Marvin Bagley can't do exactly what Robert Williams is doing.
I agree with Robert with the Marvin Bagley thing. Okafor's pretty good.
11 last night.
Nah. Bagley got game. See, Williams have no game. Bagley could shoot a little bit. He could put it on the floor.
He got killed.
Bagley gotta he's his own worst enemy right now. Like he gotta just say.
It's all about his confidence and some shit.
He just gotta say fuck everybody and just go out there and go get it.
You know what he need to do? He need to do what Cat Williams did. No, what's the nigga's name? Karl Anthony Towns. I wasn't a fan of that man at all before this season because I just didn't like how he played. He's being a dog this year, screaming in people's faces, all that extra shit. Like he's become more meaner now at the game. He's not as nice as he used to be. I don't know if that's the Anthony Edwards effect or Pat Beverly effect that's getting to him, but I love the way Karl Anthony Towns is playing. If Marvin Bagley can change and start doing what he's doing with the talent that he has, I agree. But he's super talented.
Exactly. He's got he's got the same skill set. He can do that. I just don't understand. I think some of the things that we've argued about, if he gets drafted by a better team, we're talking about him as one of the best big men in the league. If he doesn't go to Sacramento in that joke of a franchise, then I think his career right now is completely different. Same thing for Okafor. I think Okafor was here in Boston. I think if he had started on a better team, if he had started with a better coach, then his career is totally different as well.
The league was transitioning to the shooting.
Remember, guys, he got Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I remember.
He got Rookie of the Year.
They drafted Embiid after that.
Yeah, and then he caught. He just started getting in a little trouble and stuff, man. Even when the
league started shooting threes more.
That too. But then, he started getting in trouble off the court. Like
Okafor is very skilled. He's good.
Yeah, exactly. He got talent. Like that. He could play. And just like Nick Stauskas, he's a 6'8", 6'9" shooter. I mean,
we got off topic a little bit, Noah. We just started dabbling into a few things, but step back in and
appreciate y'all. That was my fault. We had a little technical difficulties. We right back on time. Definitely appreciate those takes on Robert Williams, man. Prayers up to that brother. However he decides to mend that injury. Hope he gets back on the court soon. He's good for the game of basketball. I want to continue the conversation, and I want to talk about the MVP race. We've done this maybe once a month, once every couple of weeks. It's narrowing down. There's less than 10 games left in this regular season. I just want to get a quick top three. We don't have to get into a lot of dialogue about it. I want a quick top three because the race is a three-man race. We're going to spin the mic and get top three in order from each of y'all. Ralph, give me your top three MVP race right now, NBA.
I would say Jokic. I would still say Embiid, but he's kind of, I guess, still Embiid in the Greek Freak.
Safe choices. They are the front runners in the conversation. Kamish, give me your top three in order, please.
Embiid, Devin Booker, and Jokic.
Ooh, sneaky pick.
First place, averaging 26, 27. Got to be in the combo.
I respect it.
He can't be in the top three. The only reason why he can't be in the top three because at the beginning of the year he wasn't even the MVP on his own team. It was CP3.
I get it. I respect it. I hear that, but you can't deny
if that's If that's the case, with your logic, I'll put Tatum before I put Booker.
Hell no.
Oh no.
Hell no.
Big facts.
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
Huh?
Big facts.
Phoenix being number one all season, damn near.
Right, with him being hurt and all that. Tatum.
And then you gotta think. Chris Paul just went down and he still held it down.
Chris Paul been out a month and they still in
Chris Paul's back.
game.
Chris Paul just
No,
had
he's
19,
back now.
He just
but
had
he-
19 and 14.
He held it down.
Nah,
He'll be back 3 games.
But that was like that's my third pick. I'll pick up Booker's in that conversation.
Okay.
I would love to throw I want to throw the Greek freak in, but I'm gonna give Booker some love. He's averaging 27. His team's in first place. And yeah, you're right, AD. CP is the full general over there, man, but that boy Booker's a dog, man. So you can't deny his stats and his wins.
Nah,
his wins.
I got him in the 5, not in the 3 though.
We're gonna, fellas, let's spend less time arguing each other's points. We just want to get these points across. We appreciate y'all as always. C-Mac, give me a top 3 in order.
The Dawn at 1.
Nigga, please.
All right, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I warned y'all 6 weeks ago. If he's out of all those dudes you named, if you take them off their team, they're still formidable. The Mavs are complete trash without
Philly's trash without Embiid.
Denver's trash without Joker.
Denver's trash without Jokic.
Facts.
Denver still has a formidable team.
Denver's trash.
Formidable team. If you take the Dawn off the Mavs, they are such shit. Dwight Powell.
The worst team.
Shit. Fucking
The worst team will be Denver, bro.
Right? Now, I got the Dawn at 1. Y'all asked. Right? At 2, I have Embiid. And number 3, I have Giannis.
Oh shit. Okay.
AD, give me your 3.
I got the Joker at 1.
Absolutely.
I got Embiid at 2. And I got the Freak at 3. And the reason why I went with my 3 is just because I'm staying with the longevity of the entirety of the season.
Right.
That's why I have those with my, like, I feel y'all with the Devin Booker. I know Ralph. I know my man Spicy Ralph is gonna put Tatum in his top 3. I already know he's gonna be a homer.
That's one of them Kansas City Chiefs hot takes.
Ralph went first. Here
did
it
he?
is. No Tatum.
I did. Thank you.
Who?
You did, Ralph? You did, John?
Yeah, he went first.
Ralph went first.
He said
You
Jokic,
have the
Embiid,
same
and
list I
Giannis.
did.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
okay. Okay. Me and you got the same list? Okay, cool. Yeah, I went with consistency for the whole year. Shout out to Devin Booker, though. Tatum, them boys are shit in the last month. Both of them.
AD gave us a. I had to say my brother AC, man. AC, give us your 3. I know it's going to be absurd, so let's hear it.
It's not absurd. The MVP is Morant, followed by
No, that's
Embiid,
fucking-
Oh my
followed by Embiid, followed by the Greek. You guys who've got guys in 4th and 6th place teams talking about they're the MVP of the league. That's absurd. That's what's absurd. Celebrating mediocrity, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense.
AC,
I've
I've been telling him this for his whole rant about John Morant. When you
They're 17-2 without him.
17-2 and you win, and you're winning.
When you set a culture, you are part of the team.
I was going to say that.
Morant and Chris Paul have set. Chris Paul has been out, and the reason that Devin Booker is still doing what he's doing is because Chris Paul has set a culture.
That part's
and Morant as well has set the culture in Memphis. His swagger, his attitude has completely changed that team. You talk about Tatum. In the beginning of the year, Tatum was acting like a punk. He's whining about the refs. He's doing all this. I think so. I can't remember who made the point earlier. But what you're seeing now with Tatum, he attacks one-on-one situations. Earlier in the year, he's attacking 1-on-3. He's stupid. He's throwing up dumb shit. Now that his attitude has changed, you see him yelling, you see him laughing, you see him passing. The Celtics are winning. John Morant has done the same thing. Forget this. Oh, he's out. They still win. Right. They still win because he has set the culture.
I agree with
He's
that.
the
100%.
MVP.
No, but
He's the
Culture doesn't
MVP.
win games, AC.
Hold on.
Nice
You
try.
cannot say that Jokic is the MVP when his
Hold
team
on.
is in sixth place.
hold
You
on.
can't.
Culture, culture doesn't put points on the board, AC.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Nah,
it
I
does.
agree.
Absolutely.
AC, I agree with that point. AC with the John Morant changing the culture over there. I agree with that 100%.
But this is
All the culture in the world can't make you 17-2 without your best player.
Yes,
All the
it can. You're
all the
wrong.
culture in the world with that team with John Morant's doing can change the
Wait.
chemistry and
So
bring
when
them boys
did-
together.
Hold on. When did
Yo,
Memphis stop being?
the
That's
fact
been
that
the Memphis identity since the Tony Allen days.
the fact
No, it
that they
hasn't.
are 17
No, it hasn't. You're completely wrong.
The fact that they are 17
The Zach Randolph
without
coach,
their
yo,
best player
Memphis is a
negates
lunch
the
pail
conversation
ass
of
town,
value.
bro.
You're both talking. You're both
I
talking.
disagree.
You're. I don't know. I not only not disagree, but the culture of Zach Randolph and thing was grinded out. You know, what was it called? Grits and grinding or whatever the fuck they call
No,
themselves.
cannot
It's a
be-
completely different culture. Completely
You
different.
cannot be
Nah,
the
John
most
Morant
valuable
just said.
player in the
John Morant
league
just said.
when your team wins 17 out of 19 games without you. The conversation of valuable is gone.
Let me get
That's
let
not
me
true.
get 2 points real quick. Let me get 2 points crossed, right?
AC,
Real quick.
AC got to finish his list. Let him finish
I want to hear his point. Go ahead. What's his point? No, that's my list. It's Morant. It's Morant. It's
He already
Embiid,
said his
and
list.
it's the Greek. You're right.
Right now, right? When you're 17-2, because we all know they're 17-2 without Ja, right? But their win
18-2
margin,
now.
right? And their win margin is 18.8,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Culture,
so
point.
that's not culture. That's
what-
good fucking basketball players.
that's a good
Hey, good
basketball
John
team.
Morant never.
That doesn't make you any less valuable. What are you talking
does.
about?
If John Morant was never on Memphis, that squad they got would never go 17-2 without what Ja did in that culture, bro.
That is
Exactly.
bullshit.
Y'all are bugging.
Listen,
No,
listen.
I'm not disagreeing with that, big bro. I'm not disagreeing with that, DC. I'm just
AD,
saying you
AD,
can't
I'm
reward
gonna
Ja
show
for
you-
that. You
I'm
can't.
gonna show you why that argument means absolutely nothing.
Here
because
come a
if
useless fact.
Yeah,
Because-
right. Exactly.
Because if you take Embiid off of Philly, they can't win 17 out of 19. If you take Jokic off of Denver,
Yo,
they can't
Embiid-
win
That's
Not
why
John
they're not the
Morant, bro.
MVP. That's what you just made my point. That's why they're not the MVP. Exactly. Thank you. There you go. Great point. Great point. I thank you for hammering it home.
That's
Sometimes
all the more reason they are the MVP because
you do-
they
you
can't
do that
win
often
without
for
their
me.
best player.
sometimes when I don't express myself properly, here you come a running to just nail it home for me, just like you just did right now.
They
Thank
can't
you.
win without their best player.
There you go.
Valuable.
Yep, you said it perfectly.
If you can win without your best player, that means he's less valuable to your team. From
Completely
the business
untrue.
Side of things,
Completely
from the business
untrue.
side of things to the X and O side of things.
The Bulls won 60 fucking games when Michael Jordan was suspended. So he wasn't really the MVP? Are
They didn't
you
win no
serious
games.
right
They didn't
now?
win these 60 games.
They were the 55 or something like that. What are you talking about?
They-
Michael Jordan was the MVP because the Bulls won. Are you serious?
You said 60.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Wait. I can counter that.
5 games.
I can counter that. You can make an argument that might have been more of mirage
League
than fact
expansion.
because the following year they were a lottery team before he came back. True or false?
No,
Yeah,
they won 43
No,
games.
no.
What?
was
No,
2 years.
no, they
It was
weren't.
2 years. That's not true. The year he came back when? He came back at the end towards the end of the season.
He
They were
had the last
borderline.
15
He
games,
came back.
they were-
He
they
came
were
back on my
already-
birthday, March 19th.
Yeah,
Right, and they were ended up being what, the 8th seed. Why? Because they were not a good team second year. That's a
7th
fact.
seed. They was
They
a 7th
weren't-
seed.
They
The
weren't
first year of Michael
They were
Jordan's
in the playoffs.
suspension,
They were in the
60
playoffs.
games, 55 games. What are you talking about?
And the
I don't
second
get it.
year they were not good.
AC's totally right. They was like a 55 win team, and they went game 7 and lost to the Knicks. Then the following year they fucking sucked, and Scotty was begging for Mike to fucking
And that's
come
my
back.
point. And that's my point. That's my point exactly.
They won 2 less games.
Moreover, the MVP of the league,
I said they was good. They was real good.
the MVP of the league is Joker. He's
No,
the
he's
most
not.
valuable player in the league.
If they're in 6th place, he's not MVP.
Sixth place. He's not the MVP.
He's
No,
he's playing without the second and third best players on that team. He's the
So what?
only person doing that.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's why he's my MVP.
If you take Joker off that
That's
team,
why he's my MVP.
if you take Joker off that team, they are a fucking.
If
lot
you
of-
take any number one guy off any team, they're worse. Like that I hate that logic.
Except
I hate
Memphis.
it.
Except Memphis. Except
Hated. Right, because he's the MVP. Thank you. There's a difference between very good and MVP. Thank you. Keep making my point for me.
You also
They
can't be
win
MVP.
17 out of 19 without him. That means
Okay.
you're not as valuable to them winning.
That's 19 out of 82 games though. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You also can't
But
be
he played the other
MVP.
games, DC, so you can't look at it that way.
What's Ralph said?
He doesn't play.
You also can't be MVP and miss 25% of the season.
Happens all the time. I agree with that point. That's the only valid point. I do think he's on the cusp of maybe having missed, maybe on that range of having missed a certain amount of games. But he's the MVP of the league. He's the MVP. There's no question.
John Morant's not top 3, and he won't be.
It is, regardless of what John Morant is, it is 1,000% not Joker. You can't be the MVP in 6th place.
right.
That's what I got to say about
Yes,
that.
you can. It's already been done.
I won't even argue, and it shouldn't have. It is the most fraudulent MVP in the history of team sports.
It shouldn't have happened. It happened.
It's up there with Andre Dawson and Alex Rodriguez, MVP and last place teams. It's a fucking joke.
About it,
Yo,
if
AC,
you
let me
know
ask you a
it, does it
question.
happen?
Yo, AC, let me ask you this question, right? The Joker, like Denver's in sixth place, but like they're out of they're 4 games out of first place though.
What? They're like 16 games back. What are you talking about?
I mean, they're like so.
Hold on, wait. You should.
I meant to say they were 6 games out of being a top 4 seed. So if they're 6 games out of being a top 4 seed, would the Joker be the MVP?
No, because there are players who have done more for their team, namely John Morant and Joel Embiid.
John Morant,
He's not the MVP.
John
He's in 6th place, and we keep forgetting about the Greek. And this is what happens: the Greek still has gotten just as good. Jokic is not a more valuable player than the Greek. He's not a more valuable player than Embiid. He's not a more valuable player than. It's saying that doesn't mean that he's had a bad season. It's just the fact that that's the case.
No, to his team, he's just as valuable.
It's not a fact at all.
His numbers
He's
are better than
not
MVP
over those
here.
guys. Not so what? And that tells you he's still in 6th place. It's not just about the numbers.
No, that tells you if he had his
number 2 and number 3 players.
They would be.
He did not. You can because his numbers didn't increase to the fact where now they're top seed. Period. He's not over those guys.
His numbers are better than last year when he won MVP.
Tatum and fucking Booker
year?
have more of a case than Jokic right now.
What place was he in last year?
Would you say?
I think they finished 4th or something last year. I didn't think he should have won it last year either.
4th, DC.
4th.
That's why I said DC. If he finishes in the top 4, like he's like 6 games out of it, will he be in the MVP race to y'all?
I think it was a case of him and Embiid. It was decided in like week 2 that they were MVP, and people act like nothing can change during the season.
We spoke about it. We already knew this MVP race is going to change weekly.
But it hasn't because people still have Jokic and Embiid.
It really has.
Joel, put your phone down.
Yeah, enough of that.
Yeah, I can't even see.
I can't even see that.
Yeah,
Denver's only 2 games out of 4th place.
16 games back and 8 games back from Morant. 16 games back from the Suns. Come on.
Jokic leads the league in PER. Yeah. Jokic leads the league in plus minus. Jokic leads the league in win shares.
Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate average. Let's go for 4th place. Great. Fantastic. Yep.
It's an individual award, Aaron.
Spoken just like a Jersey fan. Mediocrity is what we celebrate here.
Why do you call you a Jersey fan?
Celebrate mediocrity.
Because that fucking widow's peak.
Yeah. Let's be average. And see, that's why he's against the widow's peak, because he wants him to be average like everybody else. He don't like uniqueness. He don't like number 1. That's why he's got a problem with it.
Fellas, we're gonna transition out of the NBA. There's some things I got to talk about in terms of the NFL. We got to start with the big news coming out of Houston and Cleveland. Deshaun Watson was not to be charged with any of the allegations. Round of applause for that, brother, for that. He then turns around and signs the largest guarantee in NFL history, guaranteed money in history. $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, you got to pay them chicks off. C-Mac, did you hear when they went into like deliberations, all the plaintiffs, they pled the 5th? Sounds like they didn't want to perjure themselves. But did you hear the deposition though?
Yes. Yo.
I haven't heard the deposition yet.
Why my
That
man's
means-
traveling with the towel like that?
Nah, he got issues, bro. He got
Yo,
issues. Bro.
We said that last time we were on air. We said that there's clearly something wrong with it.
He might just be a weirdo.
Nah,
Was he traveling with?
Yo, dog. Bro.
Corey, what did you say he's traveling with?
So he would go get these massages like far away and not let the team know. And then they say he'll bring his own towel. He had this one towel he bring. It's like wild, like weird.
we commented on it where the fact that he had this number of women say something, I don't absolve him for that. So clearly he's a freak dude who was doing some weird shit,
Weird,
so he's not absolved for that. I said that, but the fact is, weird shit isn't what they claim that he was doing, which is why they pled the fifth.
Weird shit ain't rape, but
Right.
I mean, you know what he probably is. He shows all the signs of an absolute porno addict.
Yo, that's what he was doing, baby. Yo, bro. Yo, have y'all read some?
He
of
was
the
there ass naked on the massage table. See that?
Out here watching.
God. Have y'all read some of the questions that his lawyer was asking them?
I haven't followed that shit at all.
Yo, bro. He was asking him like, did Mr. Watson make you put his, your fingers in his ass? I'm like, yo, hi. I plead the fifth. Did Mr. Watson ask you to give him a hand job? I plead the fifth. Did Mr. Watson ejaculate on your chest? I plead the fifth. I'm like, yo,
fucking sniffers.
But wait a minute. Here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
These are all based on the complaints
Mm-hmm.
of the women.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to ask these questions. For one. Two, no one finds it damning that 22 white women said one black man did all this, and they're not going to even indict him, let alone find him guilty or not guilty in court. He's not even getting indicted. In Texas, where they'll convict a ham sandwich, as they say, he didn't even get indicted. No one finds that odd.
No, we do find it odd.
That's
fine.
It doesn't make sense to me. To me, it is a conspiracy. To me, dude is just, he's a hoe. You can't. He see what he. Have you heard some of these stories?
Yo,
Like,
I read the interview. I'm being modest. I didn't want to read all the questions, fam. It's crazy.
I'm going off the statement of the.
We should. That's what's gonna make us different. What they talking about?
Okay, I'll give you one story.
Hey, fellas, my phone is on 2%. I don't have my charger.
I'll give you one story real quick.
Come here, shoot good, man.
It's in my bag.
The one girl said, "Listen,
I'm gonna try and get my charge. My fault, Ralph. I'm gonna try and get my charge and tap back in. If I don't, I appreciate you, fellas, man. Y'all know what time it is.
Congratulations again, my brother. More fan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. I love y'all.
All right, bro.
Love you too, big dog.
The one girl said, and I quote, "He came in the room and made me give him fellatio, but he didn't use hand signals or words. So I'm trying to figure out what look. That's the only thing that's left. Verbal cue? Then excuse me. What eyesight? What face did he make?
My man face.
What he wants said. Because she said he didn't use words and he didn't use verbal. He didn't use his hands. He didn't use words. How else would you know?
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, I've done that before. You know what time it is. I mean, that ain't a conversation.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. I disagree with what the Browns did. Where the Browns give this freaking weirdo $230 million, all natural guaranteed. That's why they're the franchise that they are. That's stupid.
If you don't think they did their homework,
they didn't do their homework. They didn't interview the women. They didn't. Us sitting here right now, I'm pretty sure that we all watch football. We all know what situations are. You don't give a man who shows that amount of poor judgment $230 million guaranteed. Period.
What poor judgment?
To put him, what are you talking about? To even put himself in that, he was doing something.
one of them weird freak dudes.
Hey, dude, if you're a weird freak, dude, there's places where you go to get that taken care of.
Yeah, like the hedonism joint you went to.
Exactly. That's where you go. And that's where you go. You go there. You don't go to freaking random fun.
AC looked at that brother and said, "I know you. I seen you at the
I said it a couple weeks ago. That dude was doing some crazy shit. The women agreed to it at the time, and then when some woman saw her chance to get paid, now all of a sudden they want to say something. I know exactly what I feel like. I know what happened. You don't give that man.
Texas owner was like, "Yo, I know."
You don't give that freaky type dude who's obviously out there doing some wild shit $230 million to lead your franchise.
Yo,
you don't.
AC sound like Deshaun might have stole one of his pieces down in hedonism, dog.
Dude, I don't. I'm not gonna get. You're never gonna find 25 fucking women who's gonna say I did some freaky shit. They're gonna thank me and call me back. That ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna. They don't make no complaints here.
Hey, see, the reason that's not gonna happen is because ain't no one giving you $230 million guaranteed in tomorrow.
Exactly. They might, and if they do, you certainly won't know. No one will know. I like the fact that people be guessing. How the fuck do you pay for this? Right, keep guessing. It ain't nobody else's business how I pay for any of this shit that I do. Perfect. That way I don't catch a case.
Now, real quick, fellas. Just in terms of the business side of things, Deshaun obviously massive contract. Looks like look like he's in the clear to continue his career. Still relatively young. Do we agree with the money?
No, it's ridiculous.
You are what the market is willing to give you. I agree with it.
I agree with it
because by the time his contract's up, he's going to be the 12th highest paid quarterback.
Right.
I say he doesn't finish out that contract with the Browns.
For the Browns' sake, man, they had to do it, man. They haven't had a quarterback there since Vinny Testaverde. So, you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
I'm lying?
No, it felt like he was lying with it, but you ain't lying.
Yeah, that's 25 years, cuz.
Right.
Of uncertainty of who's running your franchise and a quarterback. We know a quarterback has to be elite, and the Browns really got an elite quarterback.
Do we know that he's coming back elite? He's been out for a year and he's got these issues.
He's 25 years old. Yeah, he's coming back elite.
Damn, AC dog. What the fuck, yo?
That's what I'm saying. Do we know? Are you comfortable? Hold on. Did you say you like the money or you don't?
I don't like the money. I don't like the money.
That's what he's saying. That's what I'm asking you. Is he worth that $230 million?
Joe Burrow is older than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, right.
Has Joe Burrow been out of football for a year?
Yeah, blown ACL.
No, he wasn't out for the whole year. He played that year and then he came back the next one. I knew you were going to say that. That's why I asked that.
You ever see Joe Burrow as a top 3 quarterback?
What?
You ever seen Joe Burrow as a top 3 quarterback?
Is he really? He's not top 3. There are better quarterbacks than him, but he's on the cusp.
The numbers indicate he's about a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah, I feel he might be on the cusp. I don't feel he's top 3.
But
Joe Burrow doesn't have $230 million guaranteed as well.
He will. When that fifth year when they re-up, it's going to be way bigger than that.
Yeah, I don't agree with giving money. I'm not going to give that amount of guaranteed money. Like we have a player in Las Vegas right now, the wide receiver who they just gave the big contract, and then we have Tyreek Hill in the Dolphins, 4 years, $120 million. There is zero chance of Tyreek Hill living up to that contract. Zero. If Kansas City wouldn't give it to him, and they have Mahomes, you're stupid as Miami to do it.
They couldn't afford to give it to him. That was the problem.
Please, you can fit anybody you want to. The Tampa Bay re-up the entire fucking team. You can, if you want to pay for a guy, you can pay for a guy. Stop
that. When your wide receiver wants $30 million a year, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
If every team can rearrange contracts, if they wanted him to be on that team, he'd be on that team.
$30 million wide receiver, you cannot.
You're paying a $50 million quarterback. No,
you can. If Arizona wants to keep Kyler Murray, they will. If Green Bay wants to pay Rodgers $50 million, they'll find a way. If Tampa Bay wants to pay Brady $25 and then literally re-sign the entire $22, and they were over the cap when they started, then yeah, there's a way to keep a $30 million wide receiver.
There is not, Aaron. It's a matter of numbers. It's not a matter of
Keep
opinion.
the tape. Keep the tape. There is no way Tyreek Hill lives up to that contract. He's done by year 2.
Will that be
done
his
by
fault?
year 2?
Is that his fault or is that the quarterback's fault?
What are you talking about?
So because he's not good enough, or because Tua's not good enough?
Or is Tua going to be able to get him the ball, or is he going to be used as a decoy because Tua can't get him the ball?
You don't pay $30 million for a decoy.
But that's what I'm asking you. Do you think Tua's going to be able to get him the ball?
If Tua can't give him the ball, that further cements my point that they were stupid to give that wide receiver $30 million because he's useless. Simple. Like there's no way you give that type of player that amount of guaranteed money because they always don't live up to the contract.
Hey, I'm not sure what the record is. Just really quick, I wanted to touch on this. Just a quick point. These Miami Dolphins might be the fastest team ever. Yeah. When you look at Mostert, when you look at Jalen Waddle, when you look at Tyreek Hill, they might be the fastest skill set court ever.
But AD just said he doesn't have the arm strength, so all that speed is useless if he can't throw the football down the field.
He as well throw that shit 40 yards in the air. I hope it dropping one of their arms.
Right. If he can't throw it, if Tyreek Hill goes 70 on the fly route and the quarterback can only throw 40, what point is Tyreek Hill? What good is he?
Unless it's magic.
They've been trying to trade him since he got there. What are you talking about?
And they didn't.
What's your point?
The reason why Tua is on the trading block is not because of his play. It's more because of him being available. He's never fucking available. He's always hurt.
And I mean, not for nothing, he was on the trading block when they were trying to get fucking Deshaun Watson, a top 5 quarterback.
When Deshaun Watson wasn't available, he was still on the trading block. His rookie season.
Because he came in with a hip. Did you see the way he played? Another winning
All
season.
of that factors into you surrounding an ineffective, injury-prone quarterback with, what is it now, $200 million worth of wideout?
He's had one major injury. What injury?
No, he hasn't.
He's had one major injury.
He's injured every single time.
One major injury. What are you talking about?
Well, AC's talking about his whole career. You're talking about the NFL. You know what I mean? Noah? But
he came into the league with the hip from Alabama. Other than that, he's had no major injury.
He fucked up.
He's hurt his ankle. He's had several injuries.
He broke his ankle at Alabama too, bro.
Yeah, he's had issues
in the NFL. AD.
No, that's what I just said, Noah. You're talking about this NFL. But that has a toll on your body. That's what AC's saying.
So, and not only that, he might be 5'10". That's another report that's coming out. Exactly.
He's short as shit.
Exactly. That is not a quarterback who you say, look, here's 120 million wide out. Here's this, here's that. And they just fired Flores. Now they got a new coach. They got a new weird I'm not black coach. That fucking team is in turmoil. And not only and this is not a fair comparison, but a lot of the rumors were if Brady couldn't go to San Francisco, Brady expected to be in Miami. You don't take your top 5 quarterback and every year say he's available. If you really believe in him, he's not available. Like how someone just mentioned Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ain't available. Mm-hmm. You know, period. If he was nice, he's not available. And they didn't even hide the fact that that he was available. They put him in trade for Russell Wilson. They tried to get Watson. They're trying to get all these other players. If you've got a young quarterback that you drafted number fucking 5, and you get him in, and then you realize, hey, he's not the guy. That's when you become available.
No, that's not true, AC. You will always be available if the deal is right.
Please, you think Herbert is available?
Who?
You think Herbert is available for any price?
Who?
The San Diego QB.
Yo, this nigga said
Herbert. Whatever his fucking name is. Do you think he's available? Do you think he's available?
You see what happened, AD?
No, don't change the subject. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. Is he available?
My man been to France twice and called him over.
Is he available? Is he available?
My man made
Aaron Rodgers, absolutely.
You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. And you're just saying that just to stick to your ridiculous point. He's not available for any price.
Yes,
and you know it. You know it.
Right now.
What?
Patrick Mahomes right now.
You're insane. You're absolutely insane.
Every quarterback in this league would get bumped for fucking Patrick Mahomes right the fuck now. What is wrong with you?
No, you're just saying that. You're just saying that. You're
Oh,
literally, I know you are.
There's not a quarterback I trade Patrick Mahomes for.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah,
Is it?
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football,
and it's not close.
And San Diego's not trading for him.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
they would.
They're not taking their QB on his rookie contract, a player that they can build around, and saddling himself for $50 million.
Now I agree with
is all that matters to front offices.
You're just talking now because there's no way that they would trade him for Patrick Mahomes.
You typically don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You definitely don't know what the fuck you're talking
about. I'm almost certain that he's going to say what I'm about to say to you. So go ahead.
Yo, you really think like the San Diego Chargers would trade Patrick Mahomes for Justin? Y'all really think that?
There's not a quarterback in this league who could keep their job if Patrick Mahomes was available to go to that team.
You're insane.
Patrick Mahomes is better than everybody.
Not even Brady, bro.
Not even fucking Brady.
No. We already know that. I agree with y'all that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I agree, but why would the Chargers want to trade for Mahomes when they have
that's not the question. That's not the question, AD. The question is
okay.
That is the question, though.
The question is, would the Los Angeles Chargers trade Herbert for fucking Pat Mahomes if they could?
No, they wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
No, they would not. No. Oh, and here's another one. Would Buffalo trade Josh Allen for Patrick Mahomes?
You trade any quarterback?
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
No, they're not.
Everybody's getting traded for Patrick Mahomes, bro.
They would not trade Allen for Patrick Mahomes. They wouldn't. I know they wouldn't.
Says, I want to play for your team. You fire your fucking quarterback immediately.
So are you trading A-Rod for Patrick Mahomes?
Everyone. Every fucking body. Get him out of here.
A-Rod's 40 years old. Josh Allen and the San Diego QB is not 40.
I know. He never will be. There is
both of those teams have routinely beaten Kansas City. They ain't scared of Patrick Mahomes. What are you talking about?
Everyone is fucking afraid of Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback.
No, I disagree. I'm 100% certain on the San Diego QB. On Josh Allen, I think they wouldn't trade him either.
AD, Pat Mahomes' agent calls you, the GM. He wants to play for your team. You're not getting rid of your fucking quarterback for Pat Mahomes. You'll be fired.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I have Justin, bro, who I have seen 2 years in a row go head to head with Patrick Mahomes with no problem.
Lose.
Okay, that's fine. Give me some more help then. I want all the help.
And which they did this year. You have a guy on a rookie contract. They would not have been able to sign who they signed this year if Patrick Mahomes was on the team. You would be fired because you would turn into Green Bay and you would lose every year. That's who would be fired. Not you, not me, you, because I'm winning.
Aaron,
you're losing.
You wouldn't have the job to begin with because you're out of your goddamn mind.
No, every time you do this with your useless stuff.
Patrick Mahomes wants to play for your team, you fire whoever your quarterback is.
You're wrong. This is where the video game stuff comes in. You're not taking in the salary cap. You're not taking in team building. You're just ignoring it like it doesn't exist.
No. Because see, we're not playing your little semantics. We're talking
not semantics.
Quarterback. Fuck the contract. Nope. I just told you, Patrick Mahomes called you and said, I want to be the starting quarterback for your franchise. We're not talking contracts and none of that shit. I'm talking talent for talent.
We are talking contracts and that shit.
No, we're not.
That's the whole point.
We're not. We're talking talent.
If you're talking talent, I answered my question how AC thought. Like with the salary.
We're talking talent because it's the only way Noah can dig himself out of this hole is to say that. That's the only way you can dig yourself out this hole.
The entire conversation was talent. No one said anything about a goddamn contract.
A trade. I said you would not trade him for Patrick Mahomes.
A trade. We're talking pure talent. It started with Tua. We're talking just ability. You don't keep – if Patrick Mahomes wants to be your quarterback, you fire whoever your quarterback is. We're going to move forward.
Fire? God damn, nigga.
Just wrong.
I want to talk about real quick. We got two last things we got to touch on. There's some free agents that are available. I just want to play a little game real quick. I'm going to name a free agent. I want you guys to tell me what's the best home for these dudes. We're going to do skill positions. We're not going to really mess with the quarterbacks because there's no notable names. Number one available free agent wide receiver right now is Odell Beckham Jr. Granted, he won't be playing this season with the torn ACL. What's the best fit? And again, we're not going to have too much dialogue about this because we got to get through this. I just want to know what team you believe he would fit on. Odell Beckham, AD, go.
Go back to Cleveland.
I like it. Spicy Ralph.
Back to LA.
They just signed Allen Robinson.
Doesn't matter.
And Robert Woods is still there.
No, Robert Woods just got traded.
Where'd he go?
Tennessee.
Yep.
Ooh, I like that. AC, where's a good fit for Odell?
Tampa Bay.
Shit.
You got a quarterback who could handle him and get him the ball, and we know Brady's not shy about force feeding the guy, so Tampa Bay.
Smartest thing you said all night, my brother.
And Odell loves Brady. You're right.
Facts.
More.
He's infatuated with him.
Julio Jones, AC, go.
I have no idea. Like he's on his last leg. Maybe throw him down there in Arizona, see what he can do with the young kid. I didn't think he was a good fit in Tennessee. Actually, Denver, it might not be too bad in Denver now. Put him with Wilson.
I think Sutton and Patrick are two young stars that you don't want to stunt their growth.
Yeah, true. Maybe Arizona for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Nope.
What's the kid's name down there?
Murray.
Murray had AJ Green looking good at 32 years old last
That's
season.
what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. AJ Green's still there, so I don't know.
No, AJ Green's available. AJ Green's a free agent.
Okay.
He's coming up next on the list. Spicy Ralph, where do you think is a good fit for Julio?
To go with the GOAT. The GOAT requested him. Go to the GOAT. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
He requested him?
Yeah, he requested him. He's been in his Instagram heavy.
Wow. Jarvis Land. I'm sorry, AD. You said Tampa Bay as well for Julio?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ralph, Jarvis Landry.
Back to Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay. AC, Jarvis Landry.
San Diego or LA, whatever. Squeeze him in.
Okay, I can see that. Playing the slot. I like that. AD, Jarvis Landry.
Denver.
I can see that too. I can see that definitely. Last one for receivers, we'll go AJ Green. AD, go.
Patriots.
Say that.
Okay, definitely possession wide receiver. I can see that.
He's a route runner. He runs route.
AC, go.
I was gonna say New England. He's a bigger guy. They don't have a real big receiver. They got all midgets, and he can replace the first round bust that nobody wants to see who requested a trade. So he do well.
I'm better than him right now.
And I like him because he knows cold weather. That's why I was thinking of him for New England and not the other guys, because the other guys don't really know the code like he does.
I like it. Spicy Ralph, AJ Green.
Back to Arizona.
Okay, I like that too. He definitely got revived a bit. We're gonna move on to running backs, fellas. Melvin Gordon. AD, go.
Melvin Gordon needs to go back to Denver.
No, he's gone. He's a free agent. They got the rookie. They're giving the rookie the workload. Well, the rookie he was rookie last year. Was it Javonte? Ralph, help me. Javonte Green.
Javonte Williams.
Pardon.
I would have to say.
I got a good one for Melvin Gordon.
I got one too.
He would have to go share a load with somebody.
Really, you think so? As good as he played last year?
I just think the NFL is really going to that now. I just think they're just going to the 2-back system. Save your guy unless you got Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? And even
or Jonathan Taylor.
And even him, he has a nice little 1-2 punch in Tennessee. Yeah, I like him. So I will have to go. I could see him. I could see him in Vegas as a Raider with Jacobs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I still think they both got good tread on the tires. I'm not necessarily at that. Spicy Ralph, Melvin Gordon, where?
Thunder and Lightning, Miami. He'd be a great fit down there. They don't have a big back. They have little dudes.
They have Mostert and who else?
They got speedsters. Yeah.
They signed Mostert and they signed somebody else.
It's not Drake, is it?
It might be. It might be Kenny Drake. Yep.
Yeah, but Melvin Gordon, Kenny Drake is more of a. No, it's the other dude, Edmonds. That's what it was.
Chase Edmonds from Arizona. Yep. There we go.
Those Edmonds is more of a third down back, and both styles more of a speedster and don't stay healthy. Going to be a perfect fit in Miami.
I'm not mad at that.
He's a much bigger back.
AC, Melvin Gordon.
New England or Atlanta. I know that New England's still got Harris, but you never know with Belichick. He despises running backs unless it's like his guy. But I think with a rookie QB or second year QB now, having that big back there where you can give it to him consistently, or even combine the two of them, because New England, he'll load up 4 or 5 running backs, and I think he works there. But I say Atlanta because he's coming from Denver, and I like running backs that come from natural grass that go to turf. I just like that.
Atlanta's a graveyard this year. No Calvin Ridley, no Matt Ryan. There's literally nothing there. It's fucking destitute. I think, get this, Baltimore for
maybe.
But they have 3 running backs all coming back. The offense, all the boys coming back.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys coming back off of ACLs though.
Yeah.
And
the Baltimore running backs? They're all kind of thunder guys though.
Yeah.
They need somebody. He's kind of redundant. I think they need more of a scat back type dude on Baltimore to me.
Fair to say. Next up, we've got Sonny Michelle, who kind of revived himself in LA. AC, where can you see Sonny?
Out the league.
Jesus Christ, he was instrumental in the Super Bowl victory.
He disgusts me. I don't want to talk about him. Another wasted pick, man.
He's going with his homeless shit, yo. That's all.
Yeah. No. I don't. I didn't like him in LA. He can't catch the football. Haitians can't catch. I don't like him. I don't know where to go. I haven't even thought about him. I don't know where to put him.
No, Haitians can't catch.
It's true. Haitians can't catch.
Yo, shout out my Zoes, man. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Yo, they putting a chicken head in a goat foot in a pot.
No, that's racist, but still, they can't catch.
With a dragon feather in the pot. You're going down. Fooey.
Yeah.
Next, who do we? Oh, I'm sorry, Spicy Ralph. Where do you see Sonny Michelle going?
He'd be a nice backup for Saquon Barkley.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll fucking take it.
Not bad.
Damn, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, fuck it. AD.
Shit, man. Who knows? I'm not a Sonny Michelle fan. I don't know. Go to Arizona.
I think they're gonna give Connor the workload, man. I think Connor's earned that to be the every down back over there, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, I'm glad he rejuvenated himself. You know what I mean? Off them injuries, but you always need to have somebody there.
Some insurance, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And like I said, I ain't really high. I'm like AC. I ain't really too high on Sonny Michelle. I don't think he should be out the league. But
out the league.
Damn, God damn, hard.
Yeah, that's harsh. Haitians can't catch. Jesus Christ.
That part, out the league is kind of joking, but he can't catch, and Haitians in general can't catch. That part is true.
Yo, dog.
Bro, that pot is bubbling right now, man. They're gonna take
That's
a
true.
piece of that widow's
You
peak
ain't-
in the pot.
You ain't never getting that grade A Haitian soup, bro.
Never. Fellas, last one for the evening. Ronald Jones, Ralph, go.
He just got signed to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, signed to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Good fit. I like that. Fuck it. Let's do one more. Alex Collins, Seattle's running back. AD, go.
He needs to stay in the division. I would have him.
Only place for him to be in that division is Seattle.
Seattle.
Stay home.
Seattle.
Yeah. Chris Carson is such a great talent, man, but that motherfucker can't stay healthy to save his life.
Exactly, man. He's very good. Yeah, man. He's very good, man. It's just unfortunate, man.
It really get injured in his sleep, though. That's my guy, man, but he just can't hold it together.
Him. He's a guy who, what we were just talking about, he might be okay in Baltimore if they weren't full.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He might be okay in Baltimore. Like those type of running backs who are dudes that are like my size and whatnot, I think they can work in those. They need that sort of committee to where they don't need to carry the whole load.
Mm-hmm.
A little lightning to the thunder.
Well, that's the thing. He's not quite lightning. He's one of those tweeners.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 215. You know,
he would be the smallest and quickest of the group in Baltimore. So
of that group. But like to a normal person, he's a bit bigger.
I like J.K. Dobbins, and I'm hoping he can come back at 100%.
He's nasty.
Ralph, remind me, J.K. was the starter. He went down, and then the second string went down right after him, right? Both ACLs. Who was the second string in Baltimore? It was Dobbins, and then the second string had an ACL like the week after.
I can't remember. I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
There was like three of them. They all got hurt.
And if you notice, it's all the same thing. When you get a guy who's like 5'9", 5'10", 215, 220, they think that they're big backs, but they ain't big backs. And they always get messed up. They always get messed up like that.
Fellas, a report came through while we were on the show. John Lynch, general manager of the 49ers, says that Garoppolo goes nowhere. They're not getting rid of him.
What?
Kind of supports what I said a couple of weeks ago when I said the kid Trey Lance is just not ready yet. And given the fact that they were one drive away from the fucking Super Bowl, I don't think it makes sense to let Garoppolo go. Give him a 1-year deal. Give him a little bit of change. Let Trey Lance kind of get groomed underneath him. Granted, Garoppolo ended their season on a very stupid fucking play. But at the end, got to take another shot at it. If your rookie's not ready, pay Garoppolo 1 year. Let the young boy study underneath him and shit, make a run at it. You got all the pieces. You were a fucking drive away from the Super Bowl.
I don't believe that's the case. I believe they're looking for bigger compensation.
Yeah,
they got there now. They're just going to wait. He's already under contract, so they lose nothing by keeping him. They already got to pay him regardless.
Yeah, this dude has already announced that he's leaving. He's writing goodbye letters and shit like that. You can't keep him. It's a bad situation. You can't keep him. And they're saying that, like you said,
you're not going to get anything for him. The QB market is dried up. I mean, the best available free agent quarterback right now is fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but somebody's going to get hurt. It always happens. That's when you trade Jimmy G.
Or somebody comes in, hey, we'll give you a number 2 for him, where maybe nobody's offering that right now.
There's nobody giving him a number 2 for him, AC. Yeah. Nobody.
I mean, who's on the cusp right now? Like a team starts off hot or not starts off hot, but a team gets an addition or they feel that they look good. I'll give you a 2 for Garoppolo if I'm trying to think of a Pittsburgh.
For porn star Jimmy?
I mean, AD, he was a driver.
That wouldn't be my trade, but like you just said, a Pittsburgh team, a team in Pittsburgh, they might not be too bad.
Fellas, I want to transition to our closing segment. We've spoken about this, and it all kind of resonates with us. We don't have a lot of time, but I just wanted to acknowledge it. We all kind of called out Mike Tomlin in the entire situation with, pardon me, the gentleman, head coach Flores.
Brian
Flores.
Flores.
We all called him out, and it looks like he heard us, and he definitely was doing the work before we knew about it. So one, we want to apologize to Mike Tomlin because he was already doing the work, and we all champion a little bit of black nepotism because we just don't get enough of it. Mike Tomlin released some statements today saying that he needed to make sure that Brian Flores was close to him to make sure that Brian didn't feel like he was on an island and feel isolated, and he brought him in intentionally. He said, I had the power to do it, and I did it. And I'm glad that not only did he do it, but he spoke on it. And I think we were all kind of calling for him to do so. How do we feel about that, fellas? I'm going to just pass the mic real quick before I close this out. AC, how do you feel about that? That not only doing it, but speaking on it publicly and standing on it for everyone to know.
I mean, I don't have enough of the full information. Regardless of the fact that he did it or not, he did it too late. I think he's in a position to give the man a job after the fact. Great. But Tomlin, I think we all spoke on it then and there, was that silence in the moment says a lot. And giving him a job after the fact or what have you, great. I'm not going to badmouth the man for doing that. But I think it's a lot harder to speak up when it's unpopular. And after all the facts came out, Brian Flores sort of turned from a villain to sort of like a cause, like a victim. Right. It's easy to give the victim a job. It's hard to give it, in the moment and say, no, this ain't happening on my watch. And he didn't do that. So I don't have enough facts to really go in on it, but I do know that in the moment, I don't feel he did it. I don't feel it was the tough thing to do. So that's what I got to say about that.
Fair perspective for sure, AC. Appreciate that. AD, then Spicy Ralph to close us out.
I didn't understand if he said that, why is it now just coming out? Like I didn't understand that at all. Why is he just now telling the media right now? Why he didn't tell?
I took it as AD. I feel like he told Flores off rip, but it seemed like he didn't want to add any fuel to the fire or make a spectacle of himself while the attention should be on Brian. So if Tomlin does it, obviously they start talking about, black coaches looking out for each other. The conversation changes from what's happening to Brian Flores to maybe perhaps black nepotism. Now, we don't know what he was saying. Obviously, he had this conversation with Flores, and Flores felt the support from Tomlin to the point where he was hired by Tomlin. When if it wasn't Tomlin, we all know that Flores would be unemployed right now. There was only one head coach in this league who was going to give him that shot, and it was Tomlin. We all called his ass out for it, and he showed up and he did it. Now, I agree with what AC said. It's always easy to do it when the person's not an outcast or a renegade. It's easy to draw allegiance with a martyr. Everyone empathizes and sympathizes with the martyr, so to say. So I agree with AC 1,000% there. But clearly there was some dialogue between Tomlin and Flores that we just didn't know about.
Right. I mean, I get Tomlin credit. I mean, he supported. You see one of your fellow mates down, man. You try to pick him back up. He did do that. Kudos to him. I just wish it didn't have to come to that. I think all of us are in agreement with that. This Flores issue, he shouldn't be in this issue. I mean, the man is a winning coach in the NFL. And had 2 winning seasons with the Dolphins. It gets terminated. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But kudos to Tomlin for hiring him. I'm not too big on the statement. I'm just more happy and supportive that he picked him up while this man was down.
Facts. And we all brothers need to take a page out of that book. And again, I agree with AC in terms of the timing, but it got done. We may not have liked the timing, but the shit got done. And one, it didn't have to, but the fact that it did, I think was definitely the right thing to kind of display. Spicy Ralph, close us out on this one.
Now, if I remember correctly, to be fair to Tomlin, Flores was up for other jobs. There were still other vacancies. He was up for a couple of them. I think
he wasn't getting those goddamn jobs.
He was up for those jobs.
In contention for
it was Denver,
He outed the fraternity, bro. He
immediately brought the suit, so he was never in contention for anything. And he said it when he brought the suit.
He was being interviewed. He was in contention. It was still doing the hiring process.
They have to interview him for the Rooney Rules. He was not getting the job. They have to interview him for the Rooney Rules.
I get that, but that to me, that gives him a little credence as to why he had to wait. And then once all that stuff was cleared, then he seemed to get hired. So I'm not really going to knock Tomlin for that. However, what I am going to knock is the little smoke and mirror that just happened. So Tomlin just made this statement. Now all of a sudden they just changed the Rooney Rule. Now it's not for black people; it's for
females.
Yeah,
women.
That's another thing too.
Catch that? Now you're making it even harder because now all of a sudden it's going to be about women. And in my opinion, they're going to be hired. They're going to be more pressed to hire their mothers, sisters, cousins, long before they hire us. This just made it even worse.
They did two things with that. One, they put women in, and then they changed it and made it any minority.
Yeah,
they made it so you can be
affirmative action.
Right, you be sing, you can be anybody. So there was two things to that. They made it any minority, but how you talked about the timing of it, when you talk about Tomlin waited. Who were the two black coaches? I think it was Bieniemy and another sort of scared ass dude who immediately in the moment said, "Oh, I never had a problem. I get interviews. I never seen no racism." So they said they were able to say it right there in the moment.
Hugh Jackson.
Right. We had a couple, dudes, couple inside agents who had no problem saying right away condemning Flores. So if you can be quick to condemn him, then Tomlin could have been a lot faster in supporting him. That's my point.
I feel like Bieniemy had his own issue because he had the same issue as he had a similar issue with Flores. He can't be hired. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Hugh Jackson claims, well, they try to blackmail me too.
No. Hugh Jackson, Bieniemy and another black coach, I can't remember the brother's name. They said that no, they didn't have any. They didn't feel that there was any racism.
It was Byron Leftwich.
Leftwich.
Somebody said it. I just can't remember who it was. But both of them were quick. They were quick on it. Oh no! What are you talking about? Racism. They were very quick on it.
Hey, you don't turn against the fraternity. But
and everybody thought Brian Leftwich was going to get that Jaguars position.
Facts, AD. You told me it was all but done.
It was. They had a verbal agreement. I don't know what went wrong.
I found out what happened with that. So, long story short, Byron Leftwich does not get along with the GM. He thinks the GM should be fired, and the owner was not going to fire the GM, even though the GM is the one who built the roster, top to bottom, and the roster is trash. He's like, well, he should go, and the owner was like, I'm not going to fire him and pay him, so you guys just deal with him. And that was what essentially
that was the fracture.
Right. He was like, yeah, he's got to go, and the owner's like, well, I'm not getting rid of him, so Byron backed up the job because of that.
Because he had it, like he gave him the verbal commitment. I'm like, okay, that's a good look,
Absolutely.
Go back home where you was the quarterback at, where you started your career.
Full circle, man. Hey, fellas, man, I certainly appreciate y'all making the time for this. You already know what we do over here at SNT. This is an intersection of sports and culture. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. Check us out across all social media platforms, SNT Sports, SitandTalkSports.com. Check us out on the Clubhouse, man. Shout out to Smooth, best moderator on the app. Make sure you see the commission for the merch. Tap in, SNT Podcast, man. This is what we do. Yeah.